There was a time not so long ago when our country was a beacon of hope for the world. We had embarked on a journey to build a just and caring society. No more racism, we said. No more inequality. My name's Richard Desai. I'm the director of The Giant is Falling. The film speaks to the fall from grace of the ANC, its increasing loss of legitimacy. So it's trying to provide a prism to understand that, and that's really the essence, the centre of that, the rising levels of social and economic inequality. 2016 is an election year. The local elections look as if they will be the most contested we have ever seen. Our trust in the Party of Liberation, a trust built over decades, is slipping away. The centre of this story is, in many ways, a dance between Jacob Zuma, our sitting president, and Julius Malema, the young man who was the president of the ANC Youth League. My interest in Julius Malema, and that was the original intention, to try and make a film which, through his story, spoke to the issues that South Africa is facing. Julius Malema is in many ways a young militant who's tremendously charismatic and was the leader of the ANC Youth League. In those days, he was particularly rough around the edges, if you like, but he clearly a brilliant speaker. And he comes from a very humble, poor background. And I think that has had a significant effect on his politics. I realised, well, this is not your run-of-the-mill politician, career politician, just out for what he can get. And then there was Marikana, the massacre of miners in northwest province of South Africa.
I went to watch the news on some 24-hour news channel, and then I saw the shooting of people.
Police killed 34 and injured many more in what has since become known as the Marikana massacre.
The ANC has killed people like that. It couldn't be. It was unimaginable. I couldn't. To me, it was an old picture. It could have only happened in the past, not now.
President Zuma's government has murdered our people. He has presided over the killing of our people, and therefore he must step down. Not even apartheid.
Julius Malema setting up his own opposition party, very feisty, militant youth movement, who quickly became the third largest party in the country.
The people kept on saying, guys, open your political party. Open a party which will vote for. And we knew that the demands of the Marikana workers were actually the demands of workers all over South Africa. And that people were saying, we need an alternative.
Julius Malema launched his economic freedom fighters in October 2013 in Marikana. With a keen eye on the general elections just months away, tens of thousands of ANC youth tore up their party cards and joined Malema. Julius Malema created a lot of stern controversy, particularly in Parliament, attempting to hold Jacob Zuma and the ANC government to account for the killings in Marikana.
When police reduce crime, you come here and say the ANC has reduced crime. And when police kill people, you don't want us to come here and say the ANC government has killed people. That is inconsistent, Honourable Chair.
Malema had promised voters that if the EFF got MPs into Parliament, they would raise uncomfortable questions for the ANC.
I will ask you again, Honourable Malema, withdraw that statement.
I maintain the ANC government killed people in Marikana.
Julius Malema started talking truth to power, and particularly to Zuma. Now, is Julius Malema and his party, the EFF, the genuine article, if you like, a real socialist body? I'm not too sure. He's talking about the return of the land to the people without compensation. They're talking about free education. They're talking about state ownership of banks, state ownership of some of the mines and the mining sector and so on. That's a big ask, and that demands a powerful movement that needs to be built on the ground. Malema insists the ANC has lost its way and that now is the time for something new. But can people trust Malema? Is he also making promises he won't be able to fulfill? For many years, people had pinned their hopes on one party, the ANC. Where did it all go wrong? Jacob Zuma became a darling of the world, you know, promising that the status quo would remain intact, that there was going to be no real significant reforms or increasing of tax on corporations or the wealthy. He's continued to dabble or ensconce himself with the wealthy, in particular a family from India who've been doing business in South Africa and have been using their political influence because of their connection with Zuma to expand their business empire. The two families collaborated in business. Zuma's young son, Dudasani, was by now a director in several of the Gupta companies. The fear was that they were using their wealth to influence Zuma's policy decisions. This followed a previous scandal where he authorized a $20 million upgrade to his private family residence in Kandla and refused to acknowledge any wrongdoings. And finally, this went to the Constitutional Court, where they ruled that he had violated the Constitution.
250-something million on one man. Here in Soweto, the children are still using the desks which were given to them by apartheid regime. Till today, you ask yourself, how many desks can 250-something million buy?
The lack of tolerance to the emerging opposition, and again, a very disturbing scene for many South Africans, was the use of police to physically evict the economic freedom fighters from Parliament during the State of the Nation address, when Malema was demanding accountability from the President.
May we ask the President as to when he is going to pay the money in terms of what the Public Protector has said?
This House has to proceed with the business
of the State of the Nation address being delivered today.
Which rule are you using, my Honorable Speaker? Which rule are you using to deny members to raise a point of order? They are protected by the rules.
I am now,
you cannot be emotional about
Honorable
it. Point us the rule which gives you powers to deny us point of
Honorable
orders.
Malema, I now have to ask that you leave the chamber. Honorable members of the EFF, I have ruled on the matter and I am now asking you to leave the chamber.
Rising on a point of order. I'm not going to leave, Chair. I'm rising on a point of order.
If you are not leaving the chamber,
I'm not working for you. I'm not here on your invitation. I'm elected to be here.
You are assisted to leave the chamber.
I'm not going to leave. I'm elected to be here.
We belong here.
Honorable
Speak.
We are appealing to your conscience.
I also order the security officers to please assist.
Members of the NCOP, take your seats. Take your seats.
We've seen 3 million people, ANC supporters, refuse to vote for the ANC in the last local elections. I think that is going to just increase exponentially. I think the land occupations shows you how the ANC are responding to the demands coming from the ground for housing and land to build housing. An iron fist, no nonsense approach, you know, get the guns out, and the lightness of which they open fire. The real hope for South Africa is the emergence of scores of thousands of students in this new student movement, the Fees Must Fall movement, who've gone from a simple economic demand for a 0% increase in fees, the user pay model, demanding free education. And they too have been met with the might of the state. I want people to come away of feeling a bit more intelligent about what they've been seeing on the news, those fragments of information they've been getting about South Africa, about the shootings, about the corruption, about the students, the constitutional court hearings and so on. So they come away really understanding that in many ways this is a combination not only of the choices our own political elite have made, but also of their own elites, an international consensus on how our society should be run and what is prioritised. This story in many ways is simply a metaphor for what's happening elsewhere in the world. There's been a seismic shift. We are now looking at a completely new and exciting political landscape, where political leaders are going to be judged on their actions. Whether the new de facto coalitions in many municipalities will take South Africa forward is yet to be seen.